Greetings and welcome to Zord's Planetary Space Program episode 11. In this episode we are going to in earnest begin our preparations for the phase 2 missions. That is the missions going to Eve and Dress. Well, going everywhere where our first mission is not going. And the first part of this is what we're seeing right now. The basis for the space station that's going to be placed around Eve. As usual with this mobile space station, well, not really a mobile space station, but a construction kit space station, I'm using a modified tanker as the basis. And as usual, we're going to use our pusher to push the space station, or space station to be, out to Minmus. Actually, almost everything in this episode is just keep doing stuff that I have already done at least once. So it's a lot of same, and this is the reason why the episode is shorter. I have cut a lot of things that I don't think you want or need to see, because it's already been done. But yeah, the plan here is to launch pieces for a space station. It's going to be assembled around Eve, in Eve orbit, and I'm going to launch the crew out to Dress first, and then they're going to go from Dress to Eve, refuel there, and I'm going to send a specialized Eve ascent vehicle. That's one of the hardest things to do in this game, the hardest single thing to do, Eve and back again, and yeah. We're gonna need more pieces than I'm capable of sending in one episode. Partly because, well, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be sent if you're going to send everything, and partly because I have not actually designed a working Eve ascent vehicle. I hope I have one ready for next episode, because with this episode being entirely devoted to launching things, there's not much left to launch. This vehicle we're seeing now is familiar to regular viewer, because I have launched almost identical vehicle earlier. This is what's called Station Supplies Plus. It's a station hub plus a core, a hub for the what's it called? The nuclear engines. 4 nuclear engines, because I used the 4 that was on the station for the station tanker. Yeah, the tanker. And now I need 4 more. And the hub is also going to Eve, because I just found them so useful. So, doing regular stuff, assembling the station, getting all the pieces, throwing away the old pieces. This is nothing new. This is new. When I was gonna launch the next vehicle, which is on the pad, I saw that the old engine hub did not quite the orbit. I put it on a very low orbit. I thought it was very low, but apparently not low enough. 25 kilometers. Yeah. There's again. Yeah, so it kept orbiting. Well, it was very easy to solve it. Just switch focus to that part, and aerodynamics kicks in and crashes immediately. This vehicle that I just launched looks a bit like a headless horseman, because it is the Duna lander that I should have launched. It's pretty much exactly a Duna lander and the small fuel tanker, except that it doesn't have a crew pod, because it only has the docking port instead. This is so that I can use the modular command module, which is exactly what I was thinking of doing, but sort of forgot last time. And we need to launch a regular fuel tanker. This is a rare instance of a craft being launched and not having a destination beyond low carbon orbit. I just need to refuel the ships, because I'm launching so many ships, need more fuel. Yeah, the modular command module, rather than having a command module in every ship, is a better idea, in my opinion, because it means we only have to bring one single command module, even though that command module has more stuff. It has docking ports and RCS tanks, and you've seen them. Um, so because each of these command pods are like 4 tons, if I can bring one and just switch it around between the ships, that will save mass. The total mass required for the mission will be a bit lower, maybe 10 tons, and that's not nothing. So we're now seeing the pusher coming into the station, doing aerobraking to save fuel, and you've seen this previously, and you're seeing it again, and it feels like I'm doing the same things with the same ships over and over again. But that's kind of the point with the space program, to build reliable designs and come up with reliable methods for doing things. And I like it this way, because when you're flying a ship that you've flown lots of times before, you feel that you know the ship a lot better. You know its limits and you know its capabilities, meaning that you feel you trust your ships a lot more if they are well used and old designs. And yeah, you gotta be careful when going in docking between the nuclear engines. You've seen me screw this up before. Technically, I could mount the nuclear engines, after I dock the ships together, because I have docking ports on the engines. They are modular. Well, I don't know if that would actually be easier. You want to have room when you're changing the engines, because they are not agile, especially not the nuclear ones, with the center of mass being quite far bit away from all of the thrusters, which are in one place. So again, we have boosted it up into minus orbit, we separate the crafts, and we slow down our pusher. I am now being careful to go below the orbit of the Mun, both because we have ships waiting to be pushed out, and because we do not want to repeat the incident. We hope we will have no more of that nonsense. So we get back to our station, we refuel the pusher, and the station is running dry again. You see, the fuel doesn't go all the way up, and the station wasn't empty to begin with, and we have refilled it with one whole fuel tanker, so we're using a lot of fuel, sending all the ships away. Luckily, it's free. If it feels like this episode is sort of buying for time, it's because it is. My initial plan was to construct the Eve Ascent ship this week and launch it as the first thing, because it's the most important part of this phase 2 mission. And I have failed so far. I have not succeeded in designing a Eve Ascent ship, and used my whole week, or the free time I had this week, for that purpose. So I just quickly threw this episode together. I hope it doesn't show too bad. Well, it's about time to wrap this episode up, and we're just gonna return our pusher, as always, by doing some aerobraking and stuff you have already seen. So I'm gonna cut it. The only interesting part is confirming that it actually docks. And with that, this episode is over. Thanks for watching, I suppose. Bye!